Hello, world. I hope all is well and all is right. On this show, we talk about moments that changes forever. We talk about collision and catastrophe and the lessons in life sometimes that we never see coming. But today's episode isn't just about a moment. It's about a battle. It's about the kind of courage that most of us hope we never have to find within ourselves. Today, I am joined by a woman who lived through a literal nightmare. She faced a level of domestic, physical, and emotional abuse that most people can't even imagine. But this story won't be defined by the monster. She escaped him. It's defined by the mother who fought to get her daughter back and the survivor who is standing here today. She's here to reclaim her voice. We want to pull back the curtain on the harsh reality of abuse. And we'll talk about the journey of a parent's protection and the incredible strength it takes to start over. This is a story of a survivor, of motherhood, and the ultimate point of impact. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a friend of mine, also a co-worker. I watched her put in 60 hours a week, and she's been through hell lately. She's here to share her story with others in hopes that it never happens to anyone else. And without further ado, Miss Tina Bellevue. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you made it.
You too. Thank you.
For those who might not understand kind of how situations like this begin, could you just kind of introduce yourself? And I see you got your daughter with
Yep.
you.
This is Piper.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Piper.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better.
Better.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I just kind of would like maybe for you to describe kind of who you are and maybe just kind of what's going on with you right now. And I'll just kind of give you the floor and let you go from there.
So I am Piper Bellevue. I just got out of a very bad abusive relationship. What was it? Monday?
Yep.
Monday. Actually, I think that was last week, wasn't it? I've lost track of time, if you can't tell.
It was Monday.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
It's just Monday.
So I just recently got out of it. I spent 2 years in hell, completely cut off. And I'm trying to get back to normal. Slowly, but eventually, hopefully.
We'll get there.
You want to kind of tell us what was going on with you?
So I went from one bad situation into another. And I had moved in with my mom, trying to kind of get away from it. And usually with abuse, you don't see it right away. It starts out with the charm and the promises of things that'll happen, better life, basically.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long after she had left for things to kind of go down south. I was forced to quit jobs and go into other jobs. And then the job that I currently have now, that was a long battle to keep. I'm trying to figure out how to kind of word everything, but I'm not very good at it yet. But it goes from the charm to the immediate manipulation. The manipulation starts off with convincing you that isolating yourself from your friends and family is the best thing to do. And they'll manipulate you into it. And if you don't go with what they're saying, they just tend to kind of do it for you.
Piper, I don't want to interrupt you, but for people that might not be familiar with the story, if it's okay with everybody, can you kind of explain the whole story and how, like, because the guy you're talking about was actually with your mother, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And they had a relationship, and it was actually like your stepdad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Supposed to be your stepdad. He was supposed to be a father figure or a mentor. He was supposed to be somebody that was protecting and providing for the household.
I think he got with me and was abusive to me to get to her. He met her when you were 14?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
so.
14
14.
is when he met her. So it's like he got with me to get to her.
Yeah, because it wasn't long after she had got with him that he would try to start messaging me.
Yeah.
It started off as him acting like he was there, saying things like, if you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm just one call away. I'm trying to think back, but around 13 and 14.
Yeah, it was about
I remember
14.
A lot.
How old are you now?
22.
You're 22.
Yes.
So this has been going on for quite a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're saying that and Tina, like, this is very hard for everybody to talk about.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
it's kind of like, if I say something or if I ask a question that you don't want to answer, just tell me and I won't ask it. Or if you just don't want to answer, just say, just whatever. I won't push you to anything.
Yeah.
But you say like he got with you to get to her. Did he know her first before he
No.
got in a relationship with you?
We actually met online, which is kind of weird, but I think he watched my
Well, it's not
profile.
that weird. It's not that weird, really, because that's how a lot of people meet nowadays.
But I think looking at my profile, I had my kids' pictures on there. So I think it was like a manipulation to get down there to get closer to her. Because like she said, it's charming in the beginning. You don't see anything until it was like a couple months for me, and then
has this dude have any past situations with anything with like minors or anything?
we don't know.
Is he a sexual?
We
Is he
don't
a
know.
sex offender? Or
It's not registered. We've looked him up,
he's not a registered
No.
sex offender.
but he talks about a lot of young girls. And he didn't start doing that until it was about a year before I left. About talking about like younger girls and stuff. He would talk about how this one girl would be at his house. I mean, he's from Michigan. Because her mom would lock the door on her.
And he's from Michigan, but he lives in Kentucky now.
He actually,
right?
we were thinking he moved back to Michigan, but we're not sure where he moved to. But yeah, he left. What, a couple days after?
Yeah. Shortly
Yeah.
after.
So it was last Monday.
In a way, I'm a little more familiar with what's going on, but not very familiar because, it's not like something that you would want to just go around talking about
Yeah.
or whatever, but it takes a sick person to do something like this guy's done because like I didn't mean to like detour what she was saying or to stop her from talking or anything because she was kind of telling us what was going on.
Yeah.
But it almost sounds like he was like holding her captive because she said she was cut off from everybody.
Everybody. He had her say some hateful things to the whole family.
Friends.
And friends.
My best friend doesn't even want to talk to me anymore because she doesn't understand what was going on and she's never been in that type of situation.
Yep.
Do you want to just to kind of describe day to day kind of what your relationship with him was like and just anything that you're comfortable with sharing? And when the podcast is over and everything's said and done, if you guys want to put this guy on Front Street and let everybody know what his name really is,
Right.
I'll take the responsibility for that. And if they cancel me, they cancel me or whatever. But people need to know what they're dealing with and who they're dealing with. And if somebody's out there doing people like this, and I mean, he was pretty much grooming your daughter from the time he got with you to, and who knows what he was doing, why he was there, what he was trying to do, or the things he was putting in her head. I mean, I've been a young person, a teenager. Sometimes I feel like I never got to be a teenager, like I was just born an old man, because it seemed like I was just dealing with shit from such an early age. Because I grew up, excuse me, I grew up in an abusive household myself. I never really got abused too much, but my mother, she did. She didn't have a real good taste in men.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why, like she was a normal person, looked as good as the neighbor did anyway, as far as looks go. And like, I felt like she was a good person. And, but she always seemed to find a guy that would come home and beat her up on Friday night and take her out to the bar on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's, I never understood it because sometimes it would not really be that big of a deal. And then other times she'd be waking me up in the middle of the night and I'd have to go down there. They're naked. Sometimes, ain't got no clothes on. Both of them got busted lips.
Yeah.
And I'm 10 years old trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do about it.
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Right.
But I've seen my mom get pushed out of cars, trucks, a moving truck one time. She's been hit with a brick. I don't know how many staples she's got in her head. She's been shot. The tire swings that they hang from trees? Well, we didn't have the tire in the tree on the rope at the time, but we had the rope hanging there, and I watched this guy drag her over. He had been beating up on her. I was just a little kid, and I tried to do whatever a little kid could do, and he was like trying to hang her by that rope, like where the tire swing was. And we was on this farm, and the people were gone for the 4th of July. They went to watch fireworks, and we were just hiding. It was just me and my mom. And that guy showed up. He was in a white van. I'll never forget. But he did construction work and stuff like that. I mean, I don't even know why this happened, but like on a farm, you got like a plank fence, like a wood plank fence. Yeah. And I watched him drag her out there by that fence and just beat her down that fence like a wrestling, like you see on WWE or WWF or whatever. Now, I haven't told too many people. Like, this ain't something I just run around telling everybody. Right. But I think it fits what we're talking about.
Even like with me, my safe spot was work. Like, work. That was my safe spot. I would rather be at work than be at home. That's how bad.
And saying that to a lot of people out here that might listen to this, they'd be like, "Oh, work's not that bad," but they don't realize the work that you do. Yeah. You drive a forklift for 12 hours a day.
Yeah. Yep.
Hot. There's no air conditioning there.
Exactly.
I mean, except for in the office.
Yeah. Where we don't go. But
yeah, we don't get none of that.
Right.
But it's not a bad place to work. All in all.
No.
But it could be better, everything, it's always, it's bad when a place like that becomes your refuge or your safe place, your peace and quiet or whatever, sometimes it's mine. I mean, anybody that's been married or had a marriage or life in general or whatever, sometimes work can be good because you can self-reflect.
Exactly.
And think about things. But it's kind of hard because you can't talk to anybody, because if you talk to one person, you might as well be talking to the whole factory. Yeah.
Like, I was even told I hit it well. I did come to work one time with a black eye, and bruises around my throat. But other than that, nobody knew what was going on. And out in public, everything was different. You know, they're completely different in public. They'll do things for you to laugh at.
When you say that, you mean your old man?
Yep. The ex one, yeah.
You want to say his name just to put it out there just so everybody knows?
His name is Thomas White from Michigan.
Thomas White.
Yep.
He's from Michigan, but he lives in Kentucky.
Yeah. He also goes by what?
The
Matt
Cabrera.
He goes,
Keith Turner.
damn, how many names has this guy got?
And there's another one,
it's
but I can't remember.
Juan something, but I
Yeah,
can't
I can't
remember the
that
last
name either. But yeah.
Does that not strike you guys as weird that a dude has to use 3 or 4 or 5 names?
I didn't know it.
Yeah, it doesn't come out until towards the end.
Yeah. At first, I only knew him as Matt Cabrera.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
Is that the same person he was with you?
Yep.
Matt?
Yep.
Well, before we go any farther, I just want both of you guys to know that both of you guys are beautiful and both of you guys are good people. And that you don't have to settle for anybody that's not of your standard, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I watch you work 60 hours a week, Tina.
Yep.
And I work 60 hours a week, so I know how hard that is.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. They might act like they do, but they don't unless they do.
Yeah.
So I respect you, you know, and I respect you for what you're doing right now. You're standing up, and you might be saving someone's life. You got your daughter back with you, and that's amazing.
Yeah. And even like now, after the ex broke me, I found a wonderful guy that works with us. Never thought I'd ever find a good guy like that either. But it's amazing. But it's
Seems like a
scary
great
at the same
guy to
time.
me.
He is. But it's scary at the same time because you're waiting for that outburst, that explosion. And
Yeah, I couldn't imagine ever being in a relationship after something like
so
that.
it's scary. Like, he's awesome. You know, I'll tell you one thing I did the other day. I went and bought a hose because we needed a water hose. And I get anxiety real bad going to the store. So I like hurried up, went in the store because I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna get a hose. Come out. Well, I go in there and I grabbed a water hose, which I thought it was a water hose for outside. And we get home and we're getting ready to spray out the kennel for the dogs. And he's like, "What did you buy?" Because there's holes. I mean, there's water coming out of every spot of the hose. And he just starts laughing. And I'm like, I'm waiting for like, you know, what are you, stupid? Why did you do that? And he's just like, it's okay. We'll use it for our garden when we make one. He's like, but I ended up buying, what do they call it? A soaker, I think it's called, for the garden that has like a bunch of little holes. So you can put it in your garden and water everything instead of a water hose. But I was like, man, I felt stupid. But
were you able to clean out the kennel?
Well, hey.
Yeah. We cleaned it out. Well, he cleaned it out, but it was, you know, I'm waiting for the, are you stupid? Are you dumb? You know, what were you thinking? And he just laughed and he said, it's okay. Like, you know what? It'll be all right. We can still use it.
Right.
Or the what's wrong with you.
Yeah, he's seen the effort. He appreciated you just trying to do something nice.
Yeah. Because he knows like anxiety real bad going into stores now. I ended up with PTSD, severe anxiety, severe depression. So going into like Walmart and stuff freaks me out. There's just too many people. So I was like, yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to surprise him because he still had to work. So I got out early. I was like, I'm going to surprise him, get it done. So that when I pick him up, we already have it. We can just get it done. Yeah. It didn't work out very well. But
it's hard to surprise somebody when you don't have a lot of time and things to do things.
Yeah. But it was funny. I mean, he took it, he just laughed at me like, it's okay. Just like, because the first thing, but baby, he said, baby, what did you buy? I'm like, oh.
You'll get used, you'll use it for something.
Right. That's what he said. We're going to put a garden down. So we'll be able to use it. But it was funny. But he's an awesome man.
It's nice to be appreciated.
It is.
You know,
it is.
I kind of want to take a step back to, if it's okay with you guys. I know it sucks to talk about this dude, and I don't know why he's got 4 or 5 names, but that's kind of weird.
It is.
If I was you guys, I would check into some of them names and maybe see why someone would do something like that.
I think it's the aliases to get to different girls. because they're all different pictures.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
This guy probably needs to be taken out somewhere. And
Yeah.
they used to say, like, when you had too many puppies around or cats, I don't know, I didn't do it, but Papa or somebody, they said, we're taking them over there to Uncle's farm or something, and you never seen them again. I don't,
yeah.
You just thought things were taken care of. You didn't know, you didn't question.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
if it's okay, I just kind of want to go back to when you were with him, when you started seeing signs of maybe what he was doing, so other people might be able to hear what you're saying and they can recognize the same thing in case it's happening to them. He's supposed to be with you, but he's sending weird messages to her, probably, who knows, pictures. And then when you're not around, I'm sure he's probably talking bad about you because it's like a brainwashing thing to her. He puts you down, puts her, talks good to her, makes her feel good. He's already keeping her away from everybody else, making her seem like she's being protected, but the whole time he's being a vulture.
Yeah.
Guys like that are predators, and they need to be put on Front Street, no matter what his name is or what it might be using. We might put all his names out here at the end of it, and so people will know. But if you just want to talk about like some of the things that he was doing while he was with you to get with her, or some of the things that he was doing, to her that she can explain to give signs for maybe another daughter. Because I'm a stepdad. I'm a dad and I'm a stepdad, but to me, I'm just a dad.
Yeah.
I don't do like stepdad, like you can call it whatever. I don't try to push myself on like, my kids.
Yeah.
Because I might not be their dad, but I try to do what a dad would do.
Exactly.
Exactly. The best I can do for them. And I just some people are in tough situations, and I just it's awesome that you guys are here and being courageous. You guys are heroes right now. You might be saving somebody's life. You might be getting somebody out of a situation, bringing attention to it, giving somebody enough courage to speak up. So I commend you, and I know everybody else will too.
Yeah.
Just by hearing the story. And I'll let you guys take the floor, either one.
I know with me, he'd be like, he said she was about 17. He's like, why don't we see if Piper wants to come up here? She came up one summer, and I still had to work. I can only take a couple days off. So he had her there, and I trusted because, you don't think anything like that's going to happen. She was, 17? I think when you went to the lake.
16, 17.
Yeah, 16 or 17. And I didn't think anything of it because, he didn't show anything then.
At that time, it wasn't necessarily flirtatious or anything. So I'll give you a little bit of background. I came from a father who's a convicted child molester. I got put into his home without any option or any choice. So you can probably guess what kind of situation I was in at that time. So coming to visit my mom was like a break. It was like a breath of fresh air. Well, it didn't start off with flirting or anything, but it started off with the false, well, I could help you out of that situation. All you have to do is ask. You don't have to be stuck in that situation. And it started off where he would just want to take me places. Like, I believe he took me to the lake a couple of times. What was it called? Hilltop or High Top? High Top.
In Corbin.
And it didn't seem weird, but every once in a while I could catch him staring, and then I just kind of not really want to be there anymore because I kind of knew the direction that would have led to from the home situation.
Yeah, it kind of seems like he was trying to sneak a peek without sneaking a peek, being sneaky about it.
Yeah. So I kind of knew the situation because I was like, okay, well, I deal with that at home. So I just kind of like, let's just go back and then I'll just stick in the room where I had the little guest room, and that's where I would stay. It didn't really progress until I think it was about 2 months after I was 18. And it would start off with a whole bunch of text messages that I would just try to ignore because,
Like he'd be mad at her and trying to
yeah,
talk about it.
it was a lot of that. It
He
was
would
a
message
whole
her while I was
bunch
out.
of putting her down or, well, I'm at your mom's job right now and I can't figure out where she's at, or she's not on break, or she went on break early, and trying to just
Why would he be at her job?
He used to go there all the time. All the time.
Was he a jealous, possessive
Oh, yeah.
type?
Yes.
I had been accused of messing with like everybody at work. Male, female, didn't matter.
They don't know where we work, do
Yeah,
they?
yeah, that's what I said. I didn't have time to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I got
Mm.
accused of it no matter what. Yep. And I was
So this guy would what? Come up on your brakes and stuff
every
and try to
break
catch you
come
doing
up, yeah,
something?
see if he can. I sat in my car, smoking a cigarette, drinking my water.
That kind of makes it hard to even try to seem normal when you got some weirdo out here stalking you in the parking
Yeah.
lot, don't it?
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, whenever I didn't live with her, she was on the phone with me on her break.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Trying to talk to you.
yeah. I mean, we had a break because I worked at, they called it Pearl at the time, but now it's Maximus. So when I worked there, we actually managed to have
At the
breaks
same time.
right at the same time. So we would literally be on the phone with each other because our breaks lasted the same amount of time. It was pretty easy to talk
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
And you guys are talking. You might not answer his call. He thinks
Yeah.
you're talking to somebody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
If he didn't answer your
Yeah.
call, that was okay. But if you didn't answer the call, that was a problem. I got
Was there a moment, like one specific thing that he did, like at home or something, when you were like, something don't seem right. I might need to watch him around my daughter.
when she moved in with us, he would make comments and stuff. She was working and he'd be like, I'll go pick her up. He didn't want me to go pick her up.
He would show up all the time, even when she was at work.
Yeah. Like he wouldn't want me to pick her
And
up.
What's this guy's name again?
Thomas White.
Thomas White.
Yeah.
And he goes by
Matt Cabrera.
Matt Cabrera and
Keith Turner.
Kenneth Turner.
Keith Turner, Kenneth Turner. Okay.
But he would
So this
pull up
guy's
at my job while she was at work when I moved down here.
Yeah.
Because when I moved down
And I
here,
didn't
I
know that.
started off small. I worked at Dunkin'.
how old is Dunkin' Donuts?
Dunkin' Donuts, yes. And that's where I worked
Yeah.
at
That's
for a little while. And it would get to the point to where he'd be like, well, do you just want to get off work early? Tell him you need to get off work early. Tell him it's an emergency. And it just continued like that. And at the time, I didn't really realize like what the hell was going on, but I knew that that was my place to stay. And it was probably best.
You thought maybe he was just in a hurry and just
Yeah.
had to get home or something like that.
Yeah.
You didn't really think like
Yeah, that was my only ride.
he's trying to get me out here to spend time with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Like that was my only ride. And then he would show up and he would make comments when I made friends, which at the time I didn't really think anything of it because I was like, I don't know what the hell your problem is. I'm single. I'm going to live my life and do whatever the hell I want to do. So I would just ignore it. And then it got to the point to where he would down her talking about all these bad things. He turned it around and tried to convince me that she was a narcissist and that she was just this horrible person. And at the time, I was an easy person to manipulate.
Yeah.
I had gone through.
Well, you're really just a kid, even though
Yeah.
that you turned 18.
Yeah.
You're still just actually a kid that just
Yeah.
turned 18.
Yeah.
And it was just really easy
Yeah,
to
we all
manipulate
are.
me because I was young and I was out of a really bad situation. And
A really bad situation.
yeah. And it just, I guess I just hadn't fully been able to heal from that to really see what was going on.
You never had a chance.
Yeah. Because it was just
You never had a chance
one
to
thing.
get anything normal. You got, and it wasn't nobody's fault. It's just that sometimes people's messed up, you know. Any guy out there is going to hit a woman or to take advantage of a woman or to a child or somebody that's weaker than them. I mean, that's a real piece of shit.
Yes. Yes.
I'd like to say some other words, but I'll just leave it at that. And
Yeah.
I don't have to say anything. Everybody that has any, two brain cells knows
Yeah.
that anybody that's doing those kind of
And
things is not even worth really talking about,
no.
other than you guys being able to share your story and letting people know that stuff like this is going on
Yeah. And there is help.
in our household.
Yeah. I kept it secret. Like a lot of people after I left, they were like, "You hid it very well." In a way, it's kind of like, you don't want people to know because I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I want people to know, you can get through this because there's a lot of people going through it and you can get through it if you try. He used to threaten to kill me. I don't know if he did the same thing to her. But he would threaten to.
But he turned you guys against
He
each other,
did.
didn't he?
Yes.
He did.
He easily found a way to manipulate me and just
Yeah.
convince it. He would
Yeah.
use things that I didn't know. Is it okay if I say what happened? So there was a CPS case. Me, my brother, and sister, we were all kind of separated. At the time, I had no idea what was going on other than they were putting me in with a child molester. That's all that I knew. And I was just confused for the whole situation. So he would use what I didn't know was happening and he would twist it and add things.
When you say they were putting you in with a child molester, what does that mean exactly?
My father.
Because
CPS.
they put you with your father.
Yes.
And they didn't know at the
They
time
did.
that he was like that,
They
right?
did.
They did know that he was like. They knew he was a registered sex offender, and
Me
they
and
still
my
placed
lawyer
you in his
fought
care.
that. I made some bad decisions.
Even though that your mom was wanting to be, you made some bad decisions.
I made some bad decisions. I did. I fought for them
We
back.
all have.
But, we're not all perfect. I tried to fight for them back, and they ended up sending her to her dad's house. Well, her grandparents and her dad. Then I fought tooth and nail to make it where she didn't have to go there. But they still sent her there. And that's West Virginia law for you.
Any laws, I don't even know what to say or to blame or I'm just mad about the situation that you had to go through something like that, and that you had to be placed in a place that you couldn't be safe.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that, that you had to go through that. And I hope that nobody else has to go through that.
Exactly.
Sometimes when people go through things, it takes a part of them away and they don't feel like they add up to other people in a way, I guess. But never sell yourself short, okay? Because anything that's ever happened to you it's not your fault that, people take advantage of you.
Oh, yeah.
That you was just a kid. And I know you might not like hearing this, but you're still a kid. You're just 20s. You're in your early 20s, Yeah, you're still a kid, but you know what? You're a young lady. You're growing into an adult. You're a young lady. You're becoming a lady, and even though that you've had to go through things that nobody else should go through, and there's no excuse for it, and there's nothing that I can say that's going to make it okay. But maybe that you can use it for your life and maybe help somebody else. The best way. And if anything else, you can just keep yourself safe. You can see something going on, and you can say, I don't want no part of that.
I can
Because
definitely agree.
you don't never have to be with one person. There's always other people out there. There's always friends. There's like if something's not going right, you just say, hey, that's not for me right now. You can always check back later or whatever, but just never sell yourself short or never feel like you got to be around somebody to make yourself feel better, because you're good enough. You can do whatever you want to do. You got your whole life ahead of you. I mean, school, if you want to do it, you can do that. If you like music, if anything you want to do, you can do it. So Never let nobody tell you that you can't, or, that you got to do something a certain way. You can do anything that you want to do.
See, and that was the problem, because I went from a household where it had to be done a certain way. Everything had to be perfect. You had to put on a perfect smile and act like everything at home was okay. And then I had somebody who was using the fact of the whole CPS case and things that I wasn't aware of, because at the time I was too young to even be informed of anything.
Yeah.
So he would come up with things, kind of twist around what he had learned, and he would use it against her, kind of making me fully believe that she really was this monster.
Yeah.
And then once he had finally, pushed her out, got her away.
So what, he put the blame on her for what had happened
Yeah.
to you, and
Yeah.
said that she should have done something about it,
Yeah.
and then he made that. Is that what he did?
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
he would bring up how, and I kept it a secret. What happened in that household, she didn't even know about. Not until, what was I, 18?
It's not something that's...
You were 18 or 19 when I found out.
Yeah, I
Found
didn't
out.
tell her absolutely anything about it. It was a secret. I was too ashamed to even talk about it. I didn't want anybody to know. And he would kind of use that against her. Like, she should have saw what was going on. It was really easy to see, and she didn't help you. She put you in that situation and she didn't help you.
Yeah.
Which in all actuality, she never did. She fought as hard as she could to get me to go somewhere else, and
Yeah.
it just did not happen.
Yeah.
But at the time, I'm just getting out of that situation. I'm already kind of seeing red at everything. My mind's a mess. I don't know what to think. And I'm just looking for a clutch, something to hold on.
Yeah.
And
And having a place to stay means a lot, to anybody.
And one thing.
And I'm sure that they probably use that against
yeah.
you too,
Yeah,
if I'm guessing,
100%.
like you got a place to stay here and all that stuff.
And a
That's
big
what
thing they
people do,
use is, I'm saving you, I'm helping you, nobody else would do this, is another thing that they'll say. And one other thing I want to say, she didn't think that I would talk to her because he had her say some hateful things to me. And I just want everybody to know, as a mom, that gets put aside. You're still our child. And if you're going through anything, I sat there and I told Denver, I said, if I get a phone call from Piper, I said, I'm going.
That phone call was funny.
And you did.
I said, I'll wait. As soon as that call comes in. So anybody out there that's going through this kind of stuff, if you think your mom is mad at you or your dad's not going to answer you because you've said some hateful things, they know that's not you. They know it's the other person that's putting that stuff in your head. If you need help, call your mom. You call your dad. Because I guarantee you we will be out that door as quick as shit, as I call it.
See,
She called me at 3 o'clock in the morning and we were out. I said, Piper, I'm coming.
It took my supervisor at work,
And we left.
because it had gotten so bad. This was when we still had a building, because you know how Maximus, a tornado, came through. I think it was last May. And then my kind of
Yeah.
safe place, the only good place to go and get a break for at least 8 hours, was just gone. Yeah. So while I was still working, though, it was getting really bad. It went from verbal abuse to where he would actually lay his hands on me. It would usually start with his hand around your throat, like you
Yeah.
standing there. He'd be yelling, and he'd get you to snap and start screaming.
Yep.
And then he would walk right up to you where you're in front of, like he's right in front of you. And then as your instinct in fight or flight, you're just like kind of, back up. And then
You got to
would
protect
use
yourself.
that as, well, you just fucking shoved him.
You're actually a female and he's a male.
Yeah.
In the first
Yeah.
place. He never had any business putting his hands on you.
Exactly.
And it got really bad. So one day I had went to work and I had an entire mark, just deep purple around my neck. So my supervisor had pulled me aside, and I ended up telling her everything. And she's like, well, why don't you call your mom? And I was like, she's not going to want to talk to me. I was like, you do not understand some of the things that was said, some of the things that he had me say. I was like, she's not going to want to talk to me. I said, I completely burned that bridge. That was his thing. We're going to burn this bridge.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Yeah.
have any
Manipulating you.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
And She was a mom.
He was trying to cut you off from anybody that you thought
Yeah.
cared about you,
Yeah.
manipulate you.
And
Yeah.
she was a mom herself, and she kind of sat me down and she's like, I'm just going to tell you this. As a mother, I wouldn't care what happened.
Yep.
I wouldn't care what my daughter said to me. She goes, if my daughter was in this situation, she goes, I would drive 16 hours to go get
Yep.
her. She goes, no questions asked. She would be in my arms and I'd take her home.
Exactly.
She goes, so here's my suggestion to you. She goes, if it ever gets so bad that you can't handle it anymore and you just want out, she goes, give me a
Call
call.
your mom.
I'll call your mom for you so it's not on your phone records. And she goes, and if you don't have your mother's number, give me her name. I'll message her on Facebook. And she did just that. That happened about a year ago. And then it kind of went radio silent because I allowed him to manipulate me again and make me feel like I was just stuck up until recently. And then I finally called my aunt, bawled my eyes out to her, got my mom's number, and called her to pick me up.
She come got you.
Heck
She
yeah.
did.
I called into work that day.
I called her at 3:00 in the morning, still with him screaming at me.
Yeah, in the background.
And I'm just like, Mom, I need you to pick me up. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, it's either this or I'm going to end up dead. I said, I really don't know what I'm doing. And she had told me, she's like, just go ahead and pack. I'll stay on the phone with you. We'll be there as soon as possible. She had, apparently Denver actually called into work.
Denver called in before I did. He was ready
Yeah.
to go.
He called into work.
Denver was ready to
He
go.
was. He was
Yeah.
ready.
They both showed up,
Yeah.
helped me get everything as much as I could fit in my car and their Jeep, and we up and left.
Yep.
I think your mom found a good one this
Oh,
time.
She
yeah.
did.
Oh, yeah.
But I really was. I was like terrified, and I was like, can you stay on the phone with me? Because I didn't want to hang up. I was afraid that the second I hung up, she'd come.
It gotten to the point where you just didn't know what was going to
Yeah.
happen,
No.
and you wanted somebody to be there.
It was really bad. I mean, the last straw, and it happened a lot. There was always a time his hand would end up around my neck, or I'd get a punch or a kick, or he'd just straight up slap you. There was always a time that would happen, but the time that actually scared me and made me realize that it was either I get away or I'm going to be dead was the day that he actually made it to where I could not breathe and I started to go unconscious. The only thing that saved me was when I literally kicked him so hard as I could, square in his balls, that he let go to where I could breathe. That was my last
Good for
straw.
you.
That was the, I need to get the hell out of here or else I'm not going to live another day.
Can you just take a second and talk to a girl that's your age or maybe a little younger or the age that you were when this stuff first started happening to you, and you say whatever you want to say. You know, it doesn't have to be long, short, whatever. You say whatever, and just kind of say something to the young girl that might be in your situation, so that maybe she'll see the signs and
Yeah.
that will ask for help.
The most important thing that you should do is watch the actions. Don't just fall for the words. Watch how they treat other people. Watch how they treat you. Because the signs will be there. It's not just going to be the sweet things or the love. There'll be slight comments about how, well, you shouldn't wear that. That just doesn't look right on you.
Yeah.
Or you're not going out in public in that. That's ridiculous. And then it'll
Things that
slowly-
a boyfriend might say, but not a father
Yeah.
figure
Yeah.
would say,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yes. Now,
yeah.
the dad's a different story. You know, if you're going to wear something that he's not going to like, he's going to tell you, no, you're not going to wear it.
Yeah.
But as a boyfriend, he should never be telling you, no, you're not allowed to wear that. Now, I do agree there's some things that maybe a woman shouldn't wear when they're in a relationship, but that just is what it is. If you're comfortable wearing it and your boyfriend doesn't care, go be comfortable. but never let the man control you.
Exactly.
Don't let him tell you what you can and can't wear, who to work, or if you're trying to hang out with friends, demanding to know your exact location or demanding that you put a tracker on your phone. That's not him.
Yeah.
You need to go for somebody else.
Yeah.
That's control.
And if you got your stepdad or your uncle or your creepy cousin or
That's the
some
biggest.
guy your mom's talking to at the bar or at Walmart or whatever that just happens to be around your house, and you have to also realize that sometimes girls wear stuff that they might not think people's looking at or whatever,
Exactly.
but if you get a weird
Yeah.
vibe around somebody, I would be cautious about things like that because you never know. I mean, unless you do know the person, if it's not somebody that you know and they're hanging around like mom's new boyfriend or an uncle that you didn't know you had or some just weird shit like that, like
Exactly.
I would just protect myself until I knew who I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody starts throwing out weird comments like uncle should say uncle things and dad should say dad things, they should never get mixed up
Yeah.
like that. Oh, that's something my boyfriend would say, or that's something of you know what I'm saying? Like and sometimes when you're younger, you don't always realize that, and not just to put it on young people because when you're older, you might just be lonely. You might not have had anybody for a while, and it sucks to be alone. And you find
Yeah.
somebody that you're talking to, and nowadays everybody has to work so much to pay the bills that we have to meet people on the internet, whether we like it or not, or we meet them in our daily routine because most of us do like the same shit every day. We stop at the same gas stations. We, drink the same drink, whatever, and I mean, you'd like to think that you can meet somebody and that's who they are. But sometimes you meet somebody and the person that they really are,
No.
comes out later, and it's not in a good way. And when you got kids involved, if you got kids, like for mothers that are dating, like I get it, single moms want to date or whatever, but if you got kids, don't be bringing some weirdo home if you got daughters in your house or even sons because people do weird stuff. Protect your kids by all means. I'm sure like now, like if signs were to arise or if you heard something weird or Piper, if you've seen something that was out of place, you're going to probably be more likely to say, Mom, something's not right. Or, like you don't want to go down that road again.
And the
You don't
signs will
deserve to
always
go
be
down that
there.
road, and you don't have to
My
go down that road
suggestion would be
again.
the earliest sign and trust your gut. Always trust your gut.
Yeah.
It's not lying to you. Don't ignore it. If something feels off or if you're seeing any signs that something's not right, get out of there.
Yeah.
Right at that moment, get out of there. Don't stay. And don't let the love blind you because it's one-sided.
Yeah.
It will always be one-sided. You will love that other person and they're just playing a game, toying with you because it makes them feel better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you guys had to go through this. But, well, not but. I don't want to say but because sometimes I'm sorry that you guys had to go through this. And I commend you for being courageous enough to come talk about it. And not everybody would, not everybody has got the guts to stand up and say, hey, we're going through some shit. We don't, people might worry too much about what other people think. But at the end of the day, you guys are standing up for children all over the world and relations, like people are going through real life stuff. And as sad as it is to say it, this stuff is happening more and more. And I won't say anything else. I'll give you guys the floor and
One
just
thing I
kind of
have
let you
to
guys,
say
take it out from here
is like
and
the
say
resources.
whatever it is
When you're
that
with
you'd
an
like
abuser,
to.
you can't just get online and look up places to help with abuse. You don't see it.
There's
No.
not.
There's a
There's
women's
probably not
domestic
that many.
violence shelter. And
I think there's only one here.
yeah, I think there's only one in North area. Yeah.
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 I
Yep.
think you said that was
I believe
Cumberland
so, yeah.
Valley
Women and
Domestic
children.
Violence Shelter, Women's
Um,
Domestic Violence Shelter.
but
It's
they
only
don't
for
have
women,
it where
right?
you can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you go to a doctor's office, they're with you. So you can't even tell your doctor. If you have a psychiatrist, you can't even tell her because he's in the room with you. Um, I know, like, was it Lexington has a thing in their bathrooms.
Yeah,
Uh,
UK Hospital. I used to work there for
Yeah.
a long time. We had them in the men's and women's bathroom. For the women, we had the women's shelter, and the
Really?
men's, we had the men's shelter. But they don't have that here.
No, but they don't
And
have anything like that here in this area.
That's cool.
Um,
I never heard of that.
so you don't have any resources. You don't have anywhere to go.
Mm.
I mean, they have them, but
they're not known.
they're not known. And I'm not from the area. Which
I
would
do
be
have a
very
couple
helpful
places that
because,
I
like I
looked
said,
up that I'm going to put at
I
the
didn't
end
know
of
where to
our
go.
podcast tonight.
And you feel stuck because you don't know a number. If you can't talk to your psychiatrist or therapist or, your doctor because the abuser's there.
And they monitor your phone calls.
Yeah, they monitor everything you do.
They'll look for a different number that they don't recognize.
And, well, who's this? Or, why are you looking this up?
Or they'll call it.
Yeah. So, they... Yeah.
So those are signs that people should start to look for. If you got somebody looking at every number and calling your numbers that might just be
Exactly.
spam
I had
or
a time
whatever.
limit
You can't
when I had to be
control,
home. As soon as I
everybody that
left work,
calls
I
you.
had 15 minutes to get home. And if you hit traffic, where'd you go? Where'd you stop at? Now, 25. 25 is busy as hell at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or evening. And yeah, you had a time limit on how long it should take you to get from home to there. Yeah.
Well, when I leave work, I'll text my wife and say I'm off work. And that she knows, like, if she wants to call, she can call.
Exactly.
If she don't want to call, she knows that I'll be home pretty soon. But, like, I know how hard, like, you're at work all day. So it's not like you're just wanting to just run out of there and
Exactly.
run around and stuff. Most people that work 12 hours a day, they just want to go home and relax and, maybe take a shower,
Exactly.
eat
See, I wasn't
something,
even allowed
watch a
to
few
drive
minutes
to
of
work.
TV, and then
He
go
would
to
take
bed
me
and do it
to
all
and
over
from
again.
work, and he would show up randomly.
Yeah.
Just
That's what
random
happened.
times, and he'd be sitting in the parking lot. I guess where I usually stood at because I wasn't allowed to be around people. So I basically stood in the back of the parking lot. Well, I guess there was a car that was always parked in the same spot. But most people, when you work at a place and you get there early, you learn where you can park.
Well, he knows we have our own spots that we park.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows that that's a certain spot these people park.
Yeah.
Where, okay, there's your spot.
And apparently there was this camo car that would just always park there, and some guy drove it, and he was just convinced that I was messing with him. Well, I work at a call center, and we're not necessarily allowed to, like, just go, hey, I'm going to put this person on hold. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Or we don't really have an aux that we can go use the restroom unless you have an accommodation. So usually you're there for 8 hours, either waiting for a 15 or a 30. And I was required to always call him on my breaks. So it's not like I had any time to go and mingle or go sleep with somebody at work, because who's going to do that and risk their job?
Exactly.
And it was always something that would come up.
And then
Yeah.
you seen him do that to your mom while he was in the relationship with her also, right? Or did you
Like, I
not see
never knew
that?
that he was there. I
I
knew
don't know
he
if you were
wasn't
there for
at
that
the
because I know you
house,
came
and I knew
along.
that he would leave, but I never knew exactly where he was going. Yeah.
You didn't know he was showing up at her work and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then here he goes showing up at your work. You're like, damn, I guess this is what he was doing. I mean, it kind of stinks that you can't go to work and not have somebody following you around or, seeing who you're talking to or what you're doing,
Yeah.
making you
Yeah.
call every break. It's almost like you're under arrest or you're
And pay
kidnapped
all his
almost.
bills.
It's like you're
Yep.
allowed to go to
Pay
work
all
and
his
make
Paid
money
all his bills. Well, he
and
held
bring
on to the
home,
money and
but you're not allowed to do
Yeah.
anything
he
else.
Pay all
he
the
didn't.
Yeah,
Yep.
paid all the bills, bought whatever he wanted off of
While he
Amazon,
makes sure you're
paid
there not talking
all
to
of
anyone.
whatever he needed you to pay that was for his name.
Yep.
You never got to have anything yourself. You had to ask permission just to be able to buy clothes if yours didn't fit anymore.
Yeah.
Like for me, I went there and lost a crap ton of weight. I had to ask for permission just to be able to buy clothes that fit me.
With her own money.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
it was
With your
already
own money.
planned.
He already probably had it spent
Yep.
before you made it or had plans for it. Well, he might not like me too much after I put this
We
podcast
don't
out.
know.
I don't know.
He don't live.
He
I
moved
guess
some of
he's
his
still in
stuff
the area,
out.
maybe. Or
But we don't know. We're thinking he went back to Michigan, but we have no clue where he went.
I'd say that he probably did some of the craziest dirty stuff, to Piper, that he was worried that
It was pretty
she was going to
quickly.
tell you
Yeah.
things that he
Yeah,
did
it
to
was
her. He
pretty
probably
quickly after that.
ran off and got ghost. Well, I hope he doesn't.
He tried.
I hope he doesn't contact you anymore, Piper. And I hope if he does,
You don't.
that you don't get sucked into thinking that he cares about you, because if he cared about you, he would have never
Yeah.
he would have never separated from your mom in the first place. I mean, what kind of person would want someone not to want to have a relationship with their mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they try to say it's love and all that, better than that now. And love is one of those words that people can. I don't want to say get tricked with, because
Yeah.
everybody wants to be loved and
It's
everybody
a very
wants to feel it and know
complicated
it.
emotion. So it's easy to get confused
experience it.
Yeah.
between
But you
true
will.
love and what I would call puppy love. Two different things. It's easy to get confused. Puppy love, I would say you get caught up in the moments and then you kind of just ignore all of the flaws, all of the red flags, all of the bad. But when you're truly in love, it's just different. There's that emotion.
Very different.
Even when people are angry, you just kind of talk it out. It's not a screaming match. It's not a fight for survival.
Yeah.
It's not worrying that you're going to say something wrong and then it's just going to turn to a shitstorm. You don't really have to worry about it when you're actually in love. So it's a very confusing emotion, and I think I had a hard time learning that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of other young women or young people have a lot of difficulty learning the difference. I mean, you really do put aside a lot of the red flags and you ignore that gut instinct, and you should never ignore that gut instinct. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. You should always trust your gut. If you feel something deep down, then you're probably right. If something in your head's saying, hey, watch out, or I don't know, because even if you make a decision, even if you just get away from a situation until you figure it out, you can always come back. Nothing in life's ever just like final. If you're feeling a little funny, get up out of there, figure it out, and then, go from there. Because sometimes there's people out here that do things that you can't come back from. You understand what I mean? Like, in reality, there are serial killers. There are people that, and I think this dude might be one of those
He
dudes. Why would he
had
use 5
would
names?
tell me like he was going to kill me, and
This
he'd
dude
say,
might be one of those
He had
dudes.
ways of hiding a body that nobody would find.
And he would get away with it because he's on paper for being mental.
Yeah, he said he'd be able to get out of it from using his insanity
because he's crazy and he's on paper for it.
There's no doubt he's fucking crazy, but that's not an excuse to do the kind of things that he was doing. If he's that crazy or if he's that dangerous, they should just cut his balls off and put him in a padded cell. I got a feeling that he's done other things to other people. And maybe after tonight, after this podcast goes out, maybe you guys have gave other people some courage enough to say, hey, that guy's done something to me too, you know, and maybe, or if not, then when he tries to do it to the next person, they'll at least have an idea of what's going on.
And don't lose your support group.
You can stop that from happening.
They're going to try to push those people away. Try to find a way to keep the phone numbers, or a way to get contact. Like, she didn't even know. I had neighbors that kind of kept an eye on her for me. Yeah. So I kind of knew how she was doing.
That's what mothers do.
But not completely. Because they didn't see her all the time.
I was kept in the house. Even when I worked from home, the only time that I was allowed to go out is when he didn't feel like taking the dogs out. So it was my job to take the dogs out. That was really the only time. Or if he wanted me to go to do curbside or go grocery shopping. But even if I did that, I was gone too long.
Yeah.
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 No matter what. Well, I'm sorry that you guys had to go through this. And I know I keep saying that. I really don't know. You know, there's nothing I can say that's going to make it better. I know that, you know, I do want to just say that I'm proud of you for going to get Piper.
No, not every mother.
You know, because not every mother does that.
Yeah.
Not every mother does that.
I've had people
every
tell me
mother
that I should be,
do
it,
but
I should turn my back on her
sometimes
for
they
what
don't,
she's done.
you know, and you did.
But I raised her. That's my kid. I know that wasn't her. I know some of the things that was being said wasn't her. So as a mom and raising your children, you know that's not them. So there's no way in hell I would have turned my back on any of my kids. None of them. If any of them call me 2, 12, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, shoot, I'll lose my job because my family comes first. My babies come first. You know, it doesn't matter who they are. It could be my step boys, anybody. They call me up and
That's
hey,
right.
we're gone. We're going to get you. You know, but for the people that go, you just turn her back, you know, turn your back on her. That what she did was wrong. Okay. I was hurt. No. Exactly.
She didn't know any better. She had somebody brainwashing her the whole time.
Yeah.
As soon as he got in the household, he started grooming her, brainwashing her, putting stuff in her head.
Exactly.
He's a pedophile. He's pretty much, if he hasn't been convicted, he was already a pedophile from the beginning, is what it sounds like to me. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but that's what it sounds like. You know, that's how I see it. That's just my
He's
opinion.
53. She's
myself.
20, just turned 20. Well, going to be 23.
Yeah, I'll be 20.
So she's 22. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's actually been, you know, it's been a long time in the process of things going on and stuff.
Exactly.
Well, everybody knows his name now. And everybody knows he's a piece of shit.
Always.
Everybody knows that he's going to do it to somebody else.
Hopefully.
And I will say I am thankful that you picked me
maybe
up.
stop that from happening.
I am really happy about that. I'm very thankful that she
was afraid to call
me up.
She's like, oh, my mom's just going to hang up on me. No. You can even ask Denver. when we first got together, I said, look, this is what's going on. And I said, if Piper calls me, I said, I don't care what time it is. I said, I'm going. And he said, you ain't got to worry about it. He's like, I'm going with you. And when she called, because the phone rang and I didn't recognize the phone number. And
that's all you needed to hear.
I let it ring the first time. And he said, what if that's Piper? So it rang a second time. And I said, answer it, because I don't know the number. And you wait for this person, prank calls, because you never know. This stuff happened with the abuse and stuff too with me. So it's like, you're afraid to answer numbers you don't know. Yeah. So I was like, babe, I said, can you answer the phone? And she gets
and
on.
You want him
he's
to
like,
know that it's
hello.
not nothing
And she's
that
like,
you're
who's
doing.
this? And he's like, who is this? And she's like, let me talk to my effing mom. And I was like, Piper? And as I said, Piper, he's calling into work before I even got a chance to call into it. He had already called in, like, let's go. Like, we're going to get her. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. So he called in and I called in,
They kind of
and
figured
we
it.
went and got
She
her.
was
We stayed
ready
on the phone.
to
Like,
come home.
half of my road, I don't get service. So I told her, I'm going to lose you. But as soon as we get back or we get service, I will message you again to let you know that, we're getting closer to you. And that little bit of, because it's only like 10 minutes that you lose service going down our road. It sucks. It's like, is he okay? Is he doing something? And then finally I messaged her. I'm like, okay, we got our service back.
You're freaking out.
And when we'll be there really quick, as quick as we can. And she didn't answer the first time. I was like, and then we was like, you okay? And then she finally was like, yeah, I'm okay.
I was carrying my stuff outside of the house at that time, just to kind of like smooth transition it, not have anything go down. I was bringing my stuff outside, so I didn't hear my phone go off that first time when she had messaged me.
Yeah, so I got kind of nervous because I'm like, okay, she didn't answer, but but yeah, I did. Yeah. I actually posted a picture on Facebook that she fell asleep on the couch.
Now.
You posted that?
And I said I said she's finally able to rest without worries, because I know with me, I didn't get sleep. As soon as you would fall asleep, he would come in there and start hollering.
Yeah, usually.
So you didn't get sleep at all.
Usually for me, that was about, you'd lay down right about 11 o'clock, try to go to sleep.
As soon as your eyes
you would
closed.
Just start to doze off, and he would just start screaming.
Yeah.
Or if he wasn't screaming, he was slamming stuff.
Yeah.
Doing anything and everything he could.
Blaring the TV.
Yeah.
And... yeah.
Now, you see, I had bad
Sounds like he
anxiety
was
and
a real,
PTSD before him,
manipulator.
but it went from full-on panic attacks to, like, shivers. Like, I just start shaking uncontrollably.
Yeah.
Like someone with hypothermia. I just start shaking, and I can't breathe. I'm shaking. I don't know how to stop. And it just lasts for hours. I have a psychiatrist, but this will be the first appointment I have with her coming up soon, where I actually get to tell her everything that happened, because I wasn't allowed to while he was around. So this will be my first appointment actually out of the situation. Yeah.
We can be honest with her.
I agree. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like her?
I hate to say it.
I'm assuming it's a her.
But I
have
a little bit of an issue trusting men. So I stick with my doctor.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She's awesome. She does the best that she can with what I can tell her. So now it'll be a lot easier getting everything kind of straightened out, being able to be fully 100% honest.
Yeah. And I will say, when you finally leave, it is, it's scary when you first leave.
It's a good thing having someone.
They manipulate you so much where you'll kind of feel bad in the beginning.
It's like a guilt trip.
And they'll do the guilt trip on you. But you got to remember what they did to you. I actually have a journal of things that had happened. And even after that, I bought a gun. I bought a taser. And I had pepper spray. For the first year, I carried that with me everywhere I went. Because I was like, if he comes near me, I'm going to spray him with pepper spray. If the taser don't work, I'm going to shoot him. So, I mean, I carried all 3 of those things for a whole year.
I'm
Whole year
either
with me.
I'm either with her in Denver, or if I go
Yep.
out, I have bear spray.
Yep.
But I try to stick with whenever
Yep.
she goes out. I'm not comfortable going out alone anymore.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, it might take a little time, or it might take some time to do, but use the counselor that you got
Yep.
since you like her and you guys are cool together and you're good with talking to her.
Exactly.
You know, that's a good thing that you got her to talk to, and just do it at your own pace, whatever you're comfortable with. And, but it's nice to have somebody to talk to sometimes, even if it's just about the stuff you're going through that day. You know, even if it's not about something that's super deep, or, something that's going to bring up shit that you don't want to feel or whatever.
Exactly.
But if you got somebody to talk to, take advantage of it. And if there's something else out there that you feel like you need or whatever,
Exactly.
if you can't find it, let your mom know. We'll try to work together to try to find it. If it's counseling, if it's something that you want to do, if it's a school you want to get into, or just whatever,
I'm a
something that
college
interests you, a
graduate,
hobby,
but
or,
with a CNA. I
you got your
graduated with my
GED or
CNA.
graduated?
I was in nursing school to become a registered nurse, and I did phlebotomy on the side, but I ended up dropping out. So I'm thinking I'm happy with my job. Like, I've moved up quite a bit. I'm going to a role just under supervisor, but I do kind of think I would like to be a nurse. That was what I wanted to do whenever I was younger, and that's just something that hasn't gone away.
Yeah. I'd like to see you be able to be
Exactly.
That's
financially
definitely one of my
stable enough
goals.
for where you could take care of yourself and you wouldn't have to depend on anybody else.
I'll be saving. I'll be staying with mom for a little while,
Well, I hope that
saving up,
happens for
and
you.
then hopefully I can purchase my own house with all that saving.
Yeah.
Well, even if that takes a
Yeah.
while, everybody's living together nowadays. Families stay together. That's what families are for. So don't feel bad. I mean, for staying there or feel like you got to move out. Being
Exactly.
independent doesn't necessarily mean like that you
Yeah.
can't stay with somebody or rent your own room or whatever. So don't
Yeah.
feel bad about it, because right now there's a lot going
Yep.
on. I mean, we got a war going on. We got crazy stuff happening in politics in our state, in our communities around here.
Yeah.
We got guys like that dude running around that need taken care of.
Exactly.
Most definitely.
So, there's
I
nothing
told
wrong
her,
with
I said, I
sticking
plan
close
on
to
being
family.
here until you just get tired of me.
And I'll tell you, our neighbor is my mom and my stepdad.
Yeah.
So it's like property that we all own. And
Okay.
so the only neighbors that we have, well, we have a couple other neighbors, but they're not very close. But we also have like my mom and her and my stepdad, that live right there. So not only if we're not home or something goes on, my mom and my stepdad's there. So, and we tell her, we can't get over about anybody coming on this property because
That's
they'll
good.
have a bunch of guns pointed at their butts when they decide to pull up. Yeah. So,
That's right.
yeah.
Well, hopefully you
yeah.
guys don't have to worry about
Hopefully.
nothing like that,
It will
and
be.
everything will be all good from now on.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's summertime. You guys
exactly.
get to spend some
Yeah.
time together, do
They're
some
doing
fun
something
stuff
on
maybe
Friday. I
that you
put in
haven't got to
PTO
do
for
It's
it.
lately.
a
I don't know if I'll get it
mini.
yet because it's a little last minute that I
good.
put PTO in.
It's like a car show in North Carolina that we're gonna go to this weekend. Really doing Saturday and next day. That's what
Hopefully.
I said.
I said, what? I'm going
Okay.
to put in this
Well, I hope you get
PTO,
your
and I'm going to be on
PTO.
like the 30th down on the wait list.
Hopefully.
Usually,
Nadia. Oh, I put it in months ago.
You taking PTO too, Dana?
Yep.
All right. Well,
Yep.
Well, y'all enjoy your trip then. You going to North Carolina, huh?
It's like, I think the mini trucking.
All right.
I can't
That's what it's
remember what
called.
Fancy
Denver
cars
said.
or old
It's
cars?
like mini
or...
trucks, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Some kind of mini trucks cruising. He's got it on his timeline on Facebook, but I can't remember what it's called. We'll post plenty of pictures.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
Exactly.
Sometimes
used to
those
travel
trips
all
like
the
that
time.
are memories that last forever.
I used to go all over. Yeah. Well, I've stayed on the East Coast. I haven't been to the West Coast yet.
All over the country?
That's a thought. I'm thinking
Or all
about
over?
it. I haven't gone yet. Yeah, that's my thoughts. That's why I'm stuck with East.
They're kind of weird out there, I'll just tell you.
See, I don't know if I want to go to California.
I was in prison in
That place just
California
seems
for a couple of
way
years.
too crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's running out of there. They're all going to Texas and other places. I like Kentucky.
And it's beautiful.
It's kind of slow,
Like the
but slow
mountains,
motion's
the
better than no
trees, a
motion.
lot of beauty.
Yeah. There is.
It is beautiful.
I like it.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm what they call
We
a
don't
damn
tell
Yankee.
everybody. They'll be wanting to come over.
That's what they call me. I am from New Hampshire. Yep.
Came from Michigan?
I'm from Vermont.
Yes, she was born in Vermont.
New Hampshire. Damn, that is a Yankee.
Yeah. Just about.
So you guys have been all over the East Coast, both of you, huh?
Jersey, maple syrup.
So they're known for maple syrup.
What's in Vermont? What is Montpelier? Is that no, Vermont. What is
I can tell you what the capital of New Hampshire is Concord. I don't know, Montpelier? I think. I don't know.
That's what I thought, Montpelier. But then I thought that might be South Dakota or something, you know. Or who knows? Hey, don't get Kentucky people talking about capitals of the United States. At least let us study first. Well, ladies, I hate to run, but I promised my boy that I'd come back in before he went back to sleep.
It is.
I definitely agree. And you guys gotta spend the time you got just bonding and getting close, because there's nobody that should be closer than a mother and a daughter.
Never turn your back on your mom.
Yep.
That's right.
Like best friend type shit, you know? That's right. I'm a little upset, you know. Maybe I've said some things I probably shouldn't have said about my mom or whatever, you know. I'm just a little upset.
Yeah.
But I'd give anything to have her happy and healthy and, you know, here with us. Yeah, she's alive, but she's just doing her thing.
You too?
Yeah. But I wish y'all good night. And everything, you know, I'm not going to say everything's going to be all right, but I want everything to be all right for you. So if there's anything that I can ever do, you just let me know, okay? Thank you for coming. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Tell Denver I said hi.
I will.
And the puppy.
I will. The puppy's down at Nana's right now.
Yeah.